Oh, we have a question from Andrew. People say kettlebells are great for combining strength training and conditioning. Yeah, I would say it's true. It is a unique tool. Of course, you know, really, if you wanted to and you really had enough thought, you would say that certainly about the dumbbell because, you can do all those high rep complexes. With the barbell, you can do complexes so you can get a lot of work done. Of course, you also can Olympic lift and power lift. Um, there are pieces of equipment, Andrew. I'm just riffing here, so don't. I will get your question. Um, but even something like I love the ab wheel, and it's only really good for one thing, and that would be that ab wheel rollout. But almost every piece of equipment you could argue are good for strength training and conditioning. If you think hard enough and work hard enough on it. As a thought exercise, well, that's what I need. I need to exercise my thoughts. How would I use kettlebells for what they are not great for? Well, the biggest thing would be the heavy hinge, the heavy squat. Even from for a lot of stronger people, the heavy press family. Um, so the powerlifting moves, the Olympic lifting moves, those big whole body movements. Now, it's interesting because the kettlebell snatch and the kettlebell swing are whole body movements, but it's more the conditioning side where like with the 10,000 swing challenge with the kettlebell is only 24 kilos, 53 pounds. You do that over 20 days and good things happen. Where it might be hard to deadlift 600 pounds, you know 20 straight days. So I would say they're not real good for maximal weightlifting. If I wanted to use kettlebells to train strength but not conditioning, what would my training program look like? Well, you would have to find variations because very quickly with your kettlebells, like for overhead presses, you're going to just run out of load. Um, but doing the half kneeling single arm, so one knee on the ground, one arm overhead press, man, I find that to be a fabulous strength move, even with light bells like the 24s and the 28s. You can get some real progress, um, but not conditioning. The double kettlebell front squat really is an interesting exercise because it really does demand so much what I call anaconda strength that like you're wrapped up like a mummy, but you wrap yourself like a mummy. Um, those would be exercises you get a lot of value. Um, I've had some friends recommend some dumbbell variations with, pardon me, deadlift variations with the kettlebell that are kind of interesting to look at. This suitcase deadlift and things like that. But almost universally with kettlebells, you're going to start to slide over into the conditioning side, and it's just because you just don't have enough load. So what your training program would look like would be, well, it's not terrible, but I have a little program called the Armor Building Complex. That's kind of how it looks. So 2 cleans, 1 press, 3 front squats, um, high reps with the double kettlebell front squat can be illuminating. So yeah, But again, these are always tough questions because you're kind of pushing me into an either or kind of thing, and that's just real hard to do vaguely in this kind of setting. Now, if we were at a bar or at a gym and we could kind of riff back and forth, we could get a lot more depth. And that's why it's so important to go to workshops, and it's so important to go to gyms, and it's so important to stay in dialogue with other people. Gosh, I hope I helped, Andrew. Thank you.